Do you have trouble beating Baldur's Gate 3 on Tactician as a solo character? Are you tired of seeing the death screen over and over again? Then I have the solution for you. In this one, I'm going to show you how to obliterate any enemy on Tactician as an invisible assassin. But before we start our run, let me clarify some rules I set for this one. No companions or summons at any point, except minor illusion if you count this as a summon. No illicit powers, no safe scumming in combat, no baronmancy, and last but not least, no karmic dice, because apparently there are people who use this. Starting our build, I highly recommend to play as the Dark Urge Origin character for the Stalker mantle. This way the build really comes to shine when fighting large group of enemies in the early game. As for the race, feel free to play whatever you want. Personally, I like to play as an elf for the minor illusion cantrip. Coming to the class, we are going to start as a ranger for the proficiency in strength and dex. For the small subclasses, we pick Ranger Knight for the heavy armor proficiency and the wasteland protection for fire, since fire is a very common damage type all around the game. For our ability points, we want to max out our dex and strength being important for athletic skills like jumping or shoving enemies, and dex of course being our main stat for damage output and initiative. Then we set our constitution to 14 to get some survivability. For the remaining points we put them into wisdom simply because there are a lot of wisdom checks in the game. For our skill proficiencies we put them into stealth and athletics. We wake up inside a fleshy ship just after some tentacle guy put a worm inside our head. A rather unpleasant experience, I tell you. To our predicament, we also have no memory of our past life, further complicating our situation. But one thing is clear, we need to get out of the ship, and once we do, we will have the head of whoever played this cruel prank on us. I'm going to skip the tutorial because there's nothing interesting happening anyway. And definitely not because I broke the rules for some extra cash. Anyway, we touch some tentacles and decide to leave the ship. After safely arriving at the beach, we have a quick chat with Shadowheart to reach level 2. And after some loot exchange, we tell her to leave us alone.
A shame. I thought we were doing well together. Perhaps I'll see you at camp. Farewell.
At level 2, we are going to multi-class into Rogue for the sneak attack abilities and even more proficiency in athletic, acrobatics and stealth. Traveling deeper into the lands, we blow up some brains and meet a nice guy who's asking us for a high five. Probably to congratulate us for blowing up these brains.
Perhaps I should have clarified? A helping hand? Anyone?
Apparently we misunderstood him and he didn't want a high five, but instead give us a helping hand. A bit odd if you ask me, but who am I to refuse such an offer? It's always nice to have an extra hand in your backpack.
Mistress Eyelids, stop! Cease, you loon!
Joy floods through you. You were dazed on the Nautiloid, but now you are truly awake. Alive.
Further down the road, we meet some humans and tieflings killing goblins, so we decided to join in on the fun. Unfortunately, they all fell rather quickly, so we entered the grove.
That was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate!
There, we buy the Whispering Promise Ring, which is going to bless us whenever we heal. Incredibly useful for the early game, especially in solo runs. We also get some potions, mainly an invisibility potion, which we later need to get some of our equipment early. But first, we have to save a child, much to our disappointment.
Life matters more than satiating your dark fantasies. You focus, and they're gone.
After we save the child, we hit level 3 and take the second level in our ranger class, taking the long strider spell for some extra movement and the hunter's mark ability for some extra damage. For our fighting style, we take archery for better accuracy. Now it's time to start gathering our equipment. To do that, we sneak into the goblin infested village and commit some murder. In the middle of the village, we also find the first item on our list, the haste tent, even further increasing our movement speed in combat. Climbing down the well next to it, we sneak past all the spiders using our invisibility potion and pick up the dark amethyst while we are at it. Drinking a Fetterfall potion, and down we go. Our first stop in the Underdark will be Fala Aloof, a sword that will increase our damage by 1d4 thunder damage if we use its ability.
It feels like you're warring with 10 people for the blade, but with another hard yank, the weapon slips free from the stone.
On to the Myconid colony, we get another invisibility potion and the caustic band for an extra 2 acid damage on all our weapon attacks. Now to our last stop, we will walk past the Duergar and then to the old drow camp. This is also the spot where we need the second invisibility potion or scroll in my frames. We need this because the bullet will always come up here and try to kill you if you didn't dealt with her yet. So we make ourselves invisible, make sure that she won't hit you when she's jumping out of the ground, and then we just wait until she digs down again and leaves. With the bullet gone, we take our last item from the Underdark, the drow-studded leather armor, for an extra +1 on stealth. To get the last 2 items on our list, we need to get into the goblin camp, so we go beneath the druid grove, kill some goblins and then save Sasa for a safe way into the camp. In the camp, we get the gloves of archery for an extra 2 damage on our range attacks, and the swirsy juice just because we can. Now that we have everything we need, it's finally time for some good old goblin killing. after we painted the
Finish the
world
weeping
red
dawn.
with goblin blood,
For her.
we meet a sweet girl who told us
I've a
about
long
her
way to
dream
go.
to make it big in the city.
But thank you.
So we did what any good friend would do,
I needed
knock her
this.
out and get rid of her
You open
competition.
your eyes with a
And by
lurch.
doing so,
The
we
body
even
of that
explored our own
scared
artistic
girl who
side.
asked for nothing
No
more
doubt,
than a
we will
night
make it
of
far in the city.
shelter. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. If you could craft a corpse like this in one night, what masterpieces have you sculpted in your forgotten decades?
Being close to level 4, we go back to the village to get the Necromancy Book of Tag. It's actually pretty easy to kill the guards. You simply destroy the coffins with a melee attack instead of opening them. This way you won't get surprised and even can fight them one by one. Reading the book gives us the ability to speak with the dead and a +1 to our wisdom saving throws.
The glyphs scream, searing your mind. You feel lost, tossed in a sea of arcane power you can neither control nor comprehend. The book snaps closed. You've seen too much. What profane knowledge is now seared inside of you you should never have known.
At level 4, we take the 3rd level from our ranger class and pick the Gloom Stalker subclass, giving us the ability to sneak as a bonus action, and even more important, it gives us the Dread Ambusher ability, giving us a +3 on initiative, an extra 3 meter movement speed, and a free extra attack on the first round of combat. It even deals an additional 1d8 damage. After taking a long rest, we meet Skeletor's Fell, who apparently was our butler in our past life.
Milady? Jubilant day! I have found your vile self at last! Skeleritas fell. Your loyal and ever-adoring butler. I followed you, my dear rotted master. We have been parted so tragically long.
He gives us the Deathstalker mantle for helping out our friend Alfira, which is one of the most broken items in the entire game. Every time when we kill an enemy, we will become invisible for 2 turns. And the broken part about this is that if the enemies can't find us after we turned invisible, they will leave combat. This allows us to re-engage combat over and over again. With our newfound power, we go take on Fezarek and his band. To do this, we jump on this building and then onto this rock. This way we won't trigger the conversation with him, and for some reason the walks also can't get up here. We initiate combat by attacking Fezarek while we are sneaking and pausing the game. Initiating the combat by attacking Fezarek is important because he is one of the enemies that we can't one-hit just yet. And we don't want to initiate combat by killing an enemy because this way they won't get surprised. Initiating the combat while the game is paused is also important because if you don't pause the game, the turn will not roll over when you join combat and then you stand there with no action points left. If you have the game paused, however, the game will roll over to a new turn and you start the combat with all your action points ready.
The worms will feast on your sorry carcass when I'm done with ya!
Once we dealt with Fezarek, we go into the swamp to get a secret letter meant for Kaga, so we can take her life.
Then come get it!
After we took her life, we go back to the goblin camp, where we free the druid Halsin, who tells us that if we want his help, we need to kill the leaders of the goblins.
Help me kill the leaders of this horde. Save my grove. Then I will help you. 3 deaths could win us peace. The Drow Minthara, the hobgoblin Draw Ragslin, and that perversion of a priestess, Gut.
So naturally, we go to Minthara and tell her where the grove is.
Good. Marshalling the goblins is no simple matter, but my warband will be ready to attack by next light. Once we are in position, we will wait for your signal, and then we will break them all.
But before we do the grove fight, I want to get to level 5. And to achieve that, we take a quick trip into the Underdark. There, we will kill the Dweger at the beach. To do that, we use the haste grenade from our mushroom friends. This will give us an extra action point whenever we move into its spores. To start the fight, we use one of our fire arrows. This way, we don't need to discover them and even get a surprise attack without sneaking. We kill the 2 Dweger closest to us and then retreat.
At the ready.
After we killed all the zombies from a safe distance, we re-engage combat and pick up the remaining 2 Dweger. Once this is done, we go back to the goblin camp and kill the remaining goblins there. I actually even killed him before I talked to Mintara. This way she won't take any of the goblins in the camp with her to the grove, but instead spawn new goblins once the fight starts. This way we get more XP out of this quest line. Just be careful that no one triggers the alarm by using the ward worms. Also, don't kill Thoraxlin before Mintara left, because by killing him you will turn everyone hostile, no matter what. To kill Thoraxlin, we will for the first time completely abuse the Deathstalker mantle. We sneak up behind him and start killing his little friends one by one. This time it also doesn't matter if we get a surprise attack, because he will turn invisible on the first turn anyway. Once we are invisible, we move away from our last position so that the enemy has no chance of fighting us, because they will always charge on the last spot we were seen. And now we just repeat this over and over until everyone is dead.
These boots have seen everything.
Instead, we use the same tactic to take on the remaining drunk goblins.
Time for some bloody work.
And after some killing of some Nexus Mod Archive, we finally hit level 5. At level 5 we take the Sharpshooter feat, giving us a plus 10 on our damage for a penalty of minus 5 on our attack rolls. Also, we don't receive penalties anymore from high ground rules. Back in the swamp, we expose all the Aether for being a hawk and followed her into her lair. Before we can get to her though, we have to kill her mind controlled guards, where we kill all but one. I will tell you in a second why. To fight out the Aether, we drink an elixir of the Colossus to increase our weapon damage and an invisibility potion to get close to her. We release Mariana, get ourselves in position, drink a speed potion and use Shriek to initiate combat. Once in combat, we use Hunter's Mark to deal extra damage when we hit her and use Brace to get higher damage rolls. Unfortunately for us, we only hit one of our attacks, but this is not a big problem. Since we didn't kill all of Auntie Ethel's guards, she will summon them into battle instead of multiplying herself, which gives us an extra round to kill her.
Wait! Wait just a tick!
This time, we don't lose our attacks and she surrenders. We bully her into giving us her power and releasing the girl, which we use to get +1 on our attacks. Back at the grove, the goblins stand ready to attack, and as much as I would love to slaughter the tieflings, I unfortunately need them in Act 2. Sorry, Minty.
I'll dissect you.
When you are defending the grove, you only really need to look out for two enemies, the Ogre and the Bombers. Zephyr should always win his 1v1, the Spider, so you can ignore them for now. In your first turn of combat you need to kill the Ogre, so you can't throw any goblins on the wall. After that you want to take out the Bombers so the gate stays closed as long as possible. Best case scenario, you also get some other goblins with the death explosion from the Bombers. And at this point it's just about picking up the remaining forces.
There's an illithid parasite in that corpse. You should take a look.
Back in the Underdark, we finish some quests to get to level 6.
Someone.
At level 6, we take our 5th level in our Ranger class for the extra attack. Before we take near a set, we use our favorite spell, Minor Illusion, to get the Dweger together near some lava. And then use our arrows of Roaring Thunder to push them in. If we push most of them into the lava, we easily pick up the rest of them. With all the Dweger dead, we free near just to immediately take his head.
The head breaks off cleanly from the drow's body.
Progressing deeper into the Grim Forge, we find the Adamantine Forge, a forge capable of forging weapons and armor of unseen power. But before we can use the forge, we have to beat Grim, the guardian of this place. Grim is a construct made out of pure adamantine, which makes him immune to all damage types unless he is overheated. Luckily, he's not very smart, so after taking some kill shots, we teleport right over there. It doesn't have to be this exact spot, just around this area is fine. Grim will now walk towards us and then stop right beneath the big hammer, or at least his right foot will, but that's more than enough. Now we can hit the hammer twice without him moving away. After we hit the hammer for the second time, we hide behind the lava pipes, so hopefully only one method can reach us. After filling the forge up with lava again, we run away until Grim overheats again. Then we teleport into the middle to get him into position for a third hammer attack. We teleport away again, letting the hammer fall down on him a third time, leaving only a portion of his health that we can easily remove with our normal attacks. Now that Grim is fallen, we forge ourselves an adamantine shield for the extra 2 armor class and crit immunity. Arriving at the crash, we enter in the friendliest way we know, killing the guards. Okay, I admit I might have killed a bit more than just the guards. But hey, now we are level 7. At level 7 we are going to reset our character. We will take the same level ups as we did before, except that we are going to take level 2 and level 3 in the rogue class instead of the 5th level of the ranger class. For our 3rd rogue level we take the assassin subclass, giving us guaranteed critical hits on surprised enemies. With our newfound power, we once more go on a killing spree. For larger groups of enemies we use our best friend Mana Illusion, followed by arrows of many targets. And GG, it's already over. With all the Githyanki dead, we push forward to kill the little excuse of a god.
Blaspheming tongue! You wish to see godhood! I wish you to end!
Perhaps we should save that for later. We proceed to kill the Inquisitor. First we drink an invisibility potion and steal the strange conduit ring, an item that will stay with us until the end. Then it's again time for our best friend Mana Illusion, followed by some pre-buffing, and now all that's left to do is to sit back and enjoy the show. And with that we are done. I hope you didn't have too much trouble understanding me with my accent. I will try to improve, but it probably won't be a fast progress. Anyway, I hope you still enjoyed the video, and if you did, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that, I hope I will see you all soon again when we take on the Shadowlands.